Hey, thanks for joining us today. You're with Chris at Car Cave USA in Aiken, South Carolina. Website's carcaveusa.com. Phone number is 803-262-4742. If you need financing, reach out. We have a variety of lenders we work with. We'll give you some referrals, kind of go over the terms, stuff like that with you, but we don't do it in-house. We do send it out, but we do have a lot of connections in that industry. So if you're looking for financing, reach out. Today we are looking at a beautiful 1998 Land Rover Defender 90. It was built in September of 1998, so it was one of the last 300 TDI models off the assembly line. My pronunciation's always terrible, so I apologize. The Coniston green, the original Land Rover white roof, and the contrasting steel wheels. You do have, I've looked it over, and the only thing, I know these really well, been through a ton of them. The only thing I see that's really deviated from being original on this whole thing is there's a coin tray and you have an aftermarket head unit. Besides that, it is pretty unmolested. We got it from the dry climate of Sicily. When you look around, the body's straight, all the spot welds you want to see, down the body here, they're in place, the bulkhead's clean, your floor pans, going underneath here and behind. So the late 300 TDIs, they did put a little plastic guard in there. That's something they start on the TD5s. So you don't see that often on the 300 TDI, right behind the front tire. All around, body straight, the paint works good. It does look like it's had a repaint in its life, but I'm not positive on that. Someone might have just done the hinges, because usually if they repaint it, you see in here, you'll have some paint overspray. There is an overspray. You have some upgraded stainless pins right here too. That's a good, because the original ones that are a push-in pin, they'll rust over time. All your bulkhead's straight. Even your vent plate behind there is clean. Windshield is clear. It's a nice shape. The roof's in good condition. You can see the spot welds over there. So I was on the fence about the repaint. I looked at here, and sometimes someone might have painted it. I'm talking as I'm going here, so bear with me. Someone might have painted it just because the hinges where these screws mount like to rust a little bit. And if it was painted with the hinges on, you actually see paint here. So if you paint it, these seals and the ones up top, you'll actually get paint lines. So I'm actually not convinced now this was a repaint. I think someone just cleaned up the hinges, or they would have sprayed all over those seals behind. And I typically like to see them not as a repaint or closed door, because you'll end up getting a lot of people, when they do it, they don't tape off right and they won't remove handles. If we repaint one, we do a full tear down. So I'm gonna look at it heavier, but ask me when you call and you're interested in it. I'm gonna go into detail here. If it was a repaint, you usually see, a little dirt in there from not getting a rag in, but you'd have overspray. So I believe this is all original paint. I'm gonna detail it and maybe bust out the paint meter and see what I got here. But nonetheless, it's clean. It's straight all around. You see the spot welds that you want to see going down the side here. Fender flare is original. You go in and your outriggers here in the back of the rear cross member. You can tell this lived a life in a dry climate. It's sitting on the 7.5 R16 Michelin's. That's about a 32-inch tire. I like the tire size. It rides well. It's not too big. You don't need a lift kit. It keeps the gear ratios set. This thing feels good going down the road. We did some maintenance to it. Some pinion seals, corrected some oil leaks. And we didn't go in and start doing aesthetics. It was mainly because whoever's buying this, they're gonna probably want to do their own thing with it. We start lifting it, changing it, modifying it. There's no sense. You're gonna want to do something with it. I like it in its stock form here. They're difficult to come across, especially with low kilometers. So the interior is original, the original rear bench seats. Same with the visors, in good shape, the headliner, your rear bench seats. Someone added on this aftermarket Alpine radio. We are including a $250 credit towards installing an updated one, probably something shallower, so sit back in there with Bluetooth. Your choice, you don't have to take it. You rip that thing out. You have alloy shift knobs, original cubby box, and this is a vinyl that kind of has a textured appearance to it. Like I said, we've left the aesthetics alone on this thing. It's beautiful to drive as is. It's hard to find one unmolested, or we can do a build for you. So everything for being an original vehicle, even the doors, the steps on it, the mud flaps, it's in good shape. Bulkhead, we're gonna pop the hood here as we work around. Top dash is clean, lower dash, your vent insert. There wasn't a lot of junk. A lot of these you'll see someone use it for work, and these are just lined with dirt and trash and garbage. So we'll go around. You do have the tow hitch, rear tire carrier. So that's the other thing. If they did paint this, these rear hinges, normally you'd have bare metal there on the hardware. But you'd see overspray around the window seals. So if it was repainted, it was torn down very well when it was done. Roof was taken off because you'd see overspray around these edges. It's impossible to paint this thing without bringing the roof off to get around these seals, get around the windows here. Same with your windows, you'd see some sort of overspray around these lines. These seals are pretty malleable, so maybe it was a tear down repaint. Like I said, I'm gonna dive into it more, which is good because these seals in between here underneath the windshield, you want to see that they have, they're not dried out, or you'll get some leaks through there. See the spot welds down the side, your rear door card, your door all the way around is what you want to see. You have a little bit of the drain weep hole here. It's not rusted through. It's just a little bit of surface. We can clean that up and just put a little bit of rust preventative on it if you request it. Back here is clean. Put in matte. Someone put in these rear little speaker pods. They're getting pretty aged. I'd say it's about time to get rid of them. Headliner's in good shape. There's some speakers in the dash down below. Now the hard thing, if you use a paint meter on this to see depth of the paint from the factory, they're going to have variances anyway. So I'll look into it. I'm gonna dive into this thing. I've been out of country for about 3 weeks. It came in when I was gone. So kind of today's the first time I've really dove into it to look at it and see it. Chassis is in good condition. The guys told me this is one of the cleanest ones they've seen in a long time. And usually this is body color, so someone's painted and coated in here, but they didn't do it. If you're doing it to hide rust, you're gonna have a banged up, mashed up, rusted out rear cross member. You don't have any of that on this vehicle. Steps are in good shape. Normally your Land Rover OEM steps, they're not functional anymore. They're pretty rust inflicted by this point in its life, just because of how they catch stuff off the tire. They're really clean all the way around. Seats are in good condition. A little breakdown of the bolster here that you can see. A little tear in the seat over there. So you have wear around here, but you are right at 63,000 original miles, and you say that's 101 in kilometers. 0.62 conversion gives you about 63,000 miles. It's just shy of that. You do have a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter, rear wiper, no air conditioning, but your heater control vents here. Your flashers, you can see them working. Rear defrost. You can see the glow plug light. Make sure it's out of gear so she doesn't run away on me. And hear how it fires right off. It's quiet. It sounds good. This is the EGR model, since it's a late production series. And those will always stay on the diesels. They idle low enough that you bring the idle up and you see how it senses the voltage. So right at idle when they start, it's not rotating enough to get the light off, and that's on 95% of these old Defenders. No noxious fumes coming out. Look at this door here. Go under the hood. Hood's in good shape. See the dash there. Insulator underneath. Everything's indicative. Even the glow plug relay there is back to original. All your EGR systems in place. Everything's indicative when you go to door strikers here that was in a dry climate. It was kept well. It's been well maintained. It runs good. The mileage is correct. We did put a new front bumper on it. Besides that, we did a coin tray side and alloy knobs. Alloy knobs because the original ones tend to get old, and when they get old, they'll start rotating around. They don't stay set in there. You can see someone serviced with the Y-Pack lights, not some cheap stuff. And it does have, like I said, the EGR intact here. I was going over the glow plug relay. It's original. It's a Land Rover OEM part. You can see your wiring. This engine bay wasn't scrubbed and detailed out or dry ice cleaned or anything. All your stickers are in place. They're in good condition. Like I said, everything to me points that this car mileage is true to form. There you go on the VIN. There is also one to be legal, which you have to be careful buying a Defender. There she is. There's a lot of shops that are selling illegal ones. You want all your motors to match, your VIN codes, your chassis. You know, there's a lot of detail for it to be legal to import. This right here is indicative the timing belt was serviced recently. I do not have records or receipts, but this is where they like to write, or you know, on the radiator panel here, if they've done any service of the timing. So assuming it's done, don't know if we can get a scope in there to inspect it. But yeah, this is one of the cleanest original unmolested 300 TDIs we've had in a while. All signs show the mileage is correct. It's straight, it's good color combo, it's waiting for you to do a build with it, or keep her beautiful like this and just drive it as is. As you can see, we have a lot of Defenders around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a TD5 Land Rover. 11, 12. I think I own like 30 right now. So we do a lot of these. A bunch of them up here sold too. We're familiar with them. We know what to look for, how they're supposed to sound. If you have questions, just let us know. If you made it this long, if you get some free merch or something, just reach out. We'll throw something your way. If you listen to me ramble 12 minutes, you deserve a reward. Again, it's carcaveusa.com. Our phone number is 803-262-4742. If you see some of our fun cars in here, some Lancias, some Zeta, Fulvia, Integrale, some Corvettes. You know, we like to have fun. We like Land Cruisers too. Toyota Hiluxes, old Toyota trucks. We're doing an FJ40. We have a full shop in back, so one of the few importers that, you know, brings in the cars, actually drives and tests them. Renault 5 GT Turbo, NAS Defender, diesel Pajero, Honda Acti, and a FCJ 79. We've got a bunch of stuff outside too. Like I said, if you have questions, reach out. My name is Chris. Thank you for watching today, tonight, whenever it was.